Hello, darlings. Happy bloody Wednesday to you, and welcome to another Design Me Devon. We are going to be cracking on with another one of your guys' beautiful renovations, or beautiful builds that I will be renovating even. And today we're going to get down and dirty in a church. That sounds very wrong, but it's very fitting for this channel because we are indeed all filth. Welcome, my loves. I think you're going to really enjoy this one. It's very, very pretty. I had a little nose around it. I haven't touched anything. I've left it as it is, as normal. So, yes, without further ado, let's flop on over and I'm going to show you this build in-game and then we'll start renovating. Okay, so this is the build we're going to be renovating today. This is the 1700's church by JD97 on the gallery. So thank you so much, lovely, for this submission. I'm really, really looking forward to renovating this. It's such a lovely little build. Love the details, love the shape. I can imagine seeing this in my day-to-day life, this kind of church, and I'm very much for it. So when a young couple were out hiking with their dog, they came across an old 1700s church which needed some TLC. After their walk, they found out the church was up for auction. They bidded the highest bid. They would completely like to modernize this church into their forever home, but keeping the character outside. Maybe making an upstairs. Their budget is 30,000 simoleons, maybe a little more. Oh, I'm very much here for that. So thank you once again, guys. This is JD97 on the gallery. So go and get this build if you haven't already. It's got quite a lot of downloads already. So let's have a little look around it, shall we? And here she is. I mean, how cute is this? I can already picture this as a house. Like, I am absolutely here for it. A little bit rundown and stuff, obviously. Lovely little bits of detail. Your landscaping's on point. I'm very much for it. Yeah, I cannot wait to get in here. And you did say you wanted like an upstairs. There is like a rafter area up here already. I love what you've done with these like kind of beams and stuff here. Oops, sorry. So I don't know how I'm going to do this. I do want to modernize it slightly. I may even like really modernize the back because there's no windows here, and have this. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And it's a big space on the inside as well. So, and it's all open. It's all open. It looks like somebody's been staying here. I just love this. The amount of detail in here is just lovely. It really is. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is keeping the majority of this quite open plan, maybe separating off with some, I don't know, glass half walls and maybe some bookshelves and stuff. I'm going to try and go for almost not a bohemian sort of modern edge. That's what I really want to come through with this build. I think it would really, really suit it. Maybe I could use the new stuff from the paranormal pack. We'll soon find out. And then upstairs, I'm going to try and put all of the bedrooms upstairs. I mean, we've got all of the space down here. Maybe a kitchen over in this corner with a dining room here, maybe with a nice like glass like door there. I could have the living room here. And then this is quite a big space back here. I don't know what to do with this. Maybe a nice bathroom here. I don't know. That's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm thinking of putting some stairs like right, maybe in the middle area here. And maybe even putting like a glass roof on just to show off these rafters or something. I don't know. I just want to do something a little bit interesting with this. So yes, I'm very much here for this. Really, really am. I'm looking forward to doing this. I'm going to try and make it a 2-bedroom as well. Try and get a 2-bedroom up here. Again, I'm going to be extending out the back and making it a bit modern at the back. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, look how cute this build is. Go and download it if you haven't already. This is by JD97 on the gallery. Without further ado, let's crack on over into the speed build portion and we're going to build. Here we are, my darlings, over into the speed build portion of this. So this came together quite nicely. Now, I did go right up to the budget. The 30,000 simoleons was gone. And it left me with a bathroom with no bathroom in it. But there is a bathroom in this lot. There's a bathroom upstairs, just the downstairs bathroom. I didn't have enough simoleons to furnish it. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to put this into the storyline just to make it look like this was meant to happen. So what I did was just left the bathroom looking like it was due to be renovated. So I put like plasterboard up on the side. Sometimes that happens. I mean, with my house itself, like it's taken 4 years to renovate it completely. Sometimes you just got to do room by room, you know? So that's where I'm going with this storyline and I'm sticking to it. Lots of changes were made, mainly with the exterior, especially the modern kind of extension I sort of put on the back. The colors I went for in the beginning, I went for a white in the beginning. I really wanted this like fresh white box on the back of this, and it just wasn't, I think it was mainly the lot type, where the lot was. It just wasn't fitting in with the landscape, and I really, really didn't like it. So I softened it down. You'll see that in a minute. I'll talk about that a bit more in a minute. Did go for a two bedroom, two bathroom place, open plan living kitchen area. And I did go for, I really like this kind of, my favorite bit in this place is the stairs. And that's what we're starting to do now. So what I did here was put a glass roof on this bit here. And then it kind of exposed the rafters on the inside once I put a glass roof inside. And I went with that. I wanted that to be the kind of main focus of this kind of renovation. And I really, really like it. Really, really like how it came now. I did. But again, loads of changes had to be made with this. But I was very much forward in the end. Very much was. How are you all doing? I hope you've had a nice Tuesday. Did I say Wednesday? I bet I said Wednesday in the beginning, didn't I? It's Tuesday, Hayden, for goodness sake. I don't know if I did, but that just rung a bell then when I thought Wednesday. I was like, I said happy Wednesday, didn't I? For goodness sake. I'm leaving it in. Just to, you know, may as well. May as well indeed. But yeah, I really like how this came together in the end. And this is me kind of like just figuring out the roofing, figuring out where I want everything to be. And I like the modern extension on the back. I went for a softer kind of wood tone, but I would have preferred it if we had custom content. I would have. I think the custom content on the back would have just looked a lot better with the windows and stuff. I would have did like a big wraparound window, made it almost look like a glass box on the back. But with the Sim stuff, we haven't got kind of seamless windows. We got windows with frames and stuff, so it just wouldn't have gave me the look that I would have gone for if I could have done anything. But I was still happy with it. I still happy with how everything kind of came to play. Now what I'm doing here is I'm sizing down one of the big archways from the Star Wars pack. And what that does, it allows the light to flood through from gets rid of the wall and allows the light to flood through from that glass roof. And it still sticks out a little bit. I will say that. You can see it there. It does stick out a little bit. And I just had to leave it. I just had to leave it in and just pretend that it wasn't there. But there was no way I was getting rid of it because this was just the vibe I wanted to go for. So I exposed these beams, which you can see all the way through. The same down here as well. You can see it. It's like a double story height there. And then I put like a nice like kind of wraparound staircase there as well. And I just really, really like how the actual feel of the staircase is. I definitely want to implement that again into another build in the future. But yeah, very towards the end, I was running out of my budget so badly. And I was just like, damn, I'm not going to be able to put a bathroom in. And I was like, what can I do? Think of a storyline. The bathroom just needs to be done. And I was like, yeah, we're going to go for that. So that's what I did. I did indeed. And I was happy with it. But yeah, this is what I do with the staircase. Wrap it around here. And I put like a little glass fence up where that wall is. Well, I'll show you once we start doing it. And then that, once again, opens out that area too. And it allows me to get 2 bedrooms in here. Now, this landing bit here is only 1 tile wide, going to a 2 tile. I didn't really mind that so much. I would have preferred if it was 2 tile, but this lot was compact enough as it is. I couldn't move it any further. So we just had to go with that. Sometimes architects have limitations, and that was one of my limitations this time, so I just had to go for it. Now I'm going around using the same wallpaper, but using a different swatch, just so we can get that crisp white coming through and make it look like this church has gone through a bit of it has gone through a renovation. And what they've done is just freshened up the beams and made them look crisp and white. And I thought that would help blend this big white box that I'm trying to do now using that wallpaper from the bowling pack. Love the chevron detail on that wood wallpaper, but it just wasn't for me. It just, as I said, it just looked odd in this landscape. Oh, if this was a bit more of a city church, then I think it would look fine. But because it was in the middle of a countryside, it just wasn't blending into the surrounding area for me. So I softened it down and I used the wood paneling from Snowy Escape. Yeah, from Snowy Escape. But again, I'm keeping everything in that I didn't do in the end, just so you guys can sort of see how I changed my mind. In the beginning, I was thinking about using these eco lifestyle like wall windows on the back here. And I was trying to think, oh, maybe I could use this one here. And then I just kept looking at it. I was like, no, don't like that. That's disgusting. Get rid of it. And yeah, slowly and surely, it all just changed and went completely different. And I much prefer how it came out in the end compared to how it's looking now. I mean, that's not bad. I do like it. It's just something not right with me. It's sitting with me right. And I changed it. And that's what I did. Yes. Yes, indeed. It is day 5 without any heating in my house. I don't know if I've told you, but my boiler's broken. Got people taking the piss out of me like, are you sure? Did you tell me that your boiler was broken? I'm like, yes. Yes, I did. About 500 times. I'm surviving. I'm surviving, but it's very hard. It's very hard. It's fine. It's getting installed on Friday, so not too bad. Not too bad. And I don't mind this here, what I've done down the bottom here. But again, I went for this vibe instead with this softer wood, and I just prefer it. Just prefer how it looks. Really do. And I use semi-different windows as well, I think. Yeah, I do. I use different doors as well. I end up going for the island living doors. You'll see that come to play a bit later. I just prefer it. I think it softened it down and blended it in with the church a little bit more. And I use darker windows as well. I end up getting rid of this diagonal wall that I put there too. I didn't need it anymore now I knew I wasn't using the eco lifestyle windows. End up using the snowy escape windows instead, like the modern ones that came with that, because that wood tone on it, I love it. And it fit in really well with this one, which I'm very much for. But yes, very, very nice indeed. That's going to be a bathroom where I'm putting these 2 windows now. That's the bathroom that I ended up managing to furnish. And then the downstairs one is under construction. That's the storyline. That's where we're staying, and that's where we're sticking with it. Now, this is me trying to look around and think, oh, what windows, what doors can I put down here? Can I use any of the... And then I've thought this one here, and I liked this, but it got rid of the fact that you need glass on this edge to flood this area with light from this kind of direction. And it just wasn't doing that for me here. I like how this looks. Love that door. I really, really love that door. It just wasn't working. So in the end, this is what we do. Use the island living door, which matches in perfectly with the windows above it. And then I changed that window as well. That window was a little bit too big because the kitchen goes there and the counters would have cut into it. So I changed that window, but you'll see that a bit later as well. And I do a little patio area as well. I think they needed some kind of outside space here. So I just put a little patio area on it, and I'm very much for it. Very much for it indeed. You'll have to let me know what you guys think as well. But just love doing this kind of thing. Really do. Now, this is me fussing around with the bloody wall. I changed this whole wall. And in the end, I actually demolished the wall because what I do is use the wall from Debug because I needed some more money. I needed some more money. So I demolished the wall and I used the one from Debug instead, or Live Edit. And it allows me to, I think it gave me like an extra 1,000 simoleons, I think, which didn't really go far at all. But it helped. Really, really did. And again, it is still fun trying to restrict yourself to that budget. I had 30k and that was all I was allowed. I like doing it that way. It's kind of like a challenge for me as well then, and I'm very much for it. Really am. Don't really go to town on landscaping with this lot, really. I put a bit of greenery down with some ivy, some like floor ivy. But yeah, I don't really like put flowers and stuff. I wanted it to look natural. I wanted it to blend in with the landscape. What I ended up doing with the floor that was down was just perfecting it a little bit more rather than using this one all the way through. I put the other version of this, so this is the effect you get. It kind of still looks a little bit worn in and stuff, and I'm very much for that. I am. Now this ivy here is from Cats and Dogs. I think there's different iterations depending on what pack you've got. We've got a vampire one, we've got a Cats and Dogs one there. So I end up using this all the way around, and again, it's just planting a bit of greenery there and just making it look nice, and that's all of that I wanted. Now that grave that was in the house, it's from Snowy Escape. I think it is, yeah, it is a grave. What I ended up doing is just putting it out the front of the house, and it's acting as maybe you're not allowed to touch this grave and it wasn't allowed to be moved, but they're actually under this. Maybe they were doing a bit of digging and they found them underneath the ground or something. Look at these fucking bullshit stories that I'm putting out. But that is the mantra. And that is the storyline for today. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I know this is me fussing around with this porch as well. I end up changing this porch once we're into the interiors. I actually extend the porch out, put a different door on the front, like the glass one from Get Together that looks like a church sort of like door or church inspired door. It's got that like arch moment. We go for that in here and it just looks really cool. And then I extend that porch out so it's got all of that space kind of to take your shoes off and stuff, almost like a porch really. And I'm very much for it. Yes. And I go inside and I change around the wallpapers a little bit as well. Just so, I don't know. I just wanted a bit of a pattern on the wall so you can see what I did. I was just doing it as I was yapping on there. I end up just putting them in different orientations and giving a nice little bit of pattern there. Ignore what I'm doing here as well. And I was going for a door in the beginning here because I was going to make that area into an office. But I just didn't want to have an office. Now I did forget... You'll probably notice this as we're going. I did forget that in the brief there was a dog in this household, so I didn't actually put in anything for a dog. But what I will do is add stuff in for a dog before it gets uploaded to the gallery. And you'll probably see that in the video tour anyway. Maybe a dog bed somewhere and a food bowl and stuff. But yes, I missed my brief, for goodness. So yeah, this is the door I was on about. I end up putting that door in there. And I just like it. Really, really like it. And I was still unhappy with that arch being so close to the sofa. So I end up getting rid of it, knocking down this whole wall and opening out this area a little bit more using some of these kind of like sort of facade details. Yes, very much for it. And it looks nice. It looks nice in the end in my eyes. I think I darken these down to a bit of a grey as well. Now, I didn't want this whole house to be predominantly like neutral tone. I do try and pop just a few colours in, like with these sofas here, with the upstairs bedrooms and stuff as well. I end up trying to pop a little bit of colour in. My aesthetic is very earthy, neutral tones. That's the way. I've had people saying like, oh, no grey. No, somebody said, don't do it. I'm going to do a no grey. You need to do a no grey challenge. And I'm just like, why would I want to do that when grey is my favourite like tone or colour? Grey goes with everything. I love it. It's my aesthetic. I'm sticking with it. So that's that. They were saying out of kindness as well. It wasn't any like, yeah. So, but no, I like grey. It goes with everything. And I'm going to continue using it. Ignore the ceilings once again. The ceilings are black. I will be recolouring them before we go back into the video tour, so you will see them in what they're supposed to be. I may even just take the mod out just so they're kind of white ceilinged, but I don't know. Maybe I could add a grey in there just to really piss that person off. I'm joking. Anyway, so yeah, this is the living room. Again, as I said, I've tried to get in some bohemian vibes with the plants, and that table had like a church vibe to it. I also used this behind the fireplace and I just liked it. Again, it's giving that nod to a church kind of vibe, which is what I still wanted this to come through. I still wanted this house to feel like you were in a church. I didn't want to take away from that. Sorry about my nose. I've got a bit of a runny nose coming on. I hope I'm not getting poorly. That's the last thing I need now with no heating. That's probably why I'm getting poorly, isn't it? Blame the heating. Blame the heating. Hello, Blue. Oh, it's very beautiful. But yeah, using fun patterns, fun textures in here as well. Again, with the original flagstone floor and the wall and stuff. I just really liked playing around with this. Really, really did. Using a donkey, you know. It's in a Christmas like hymn, isn't it? Little donkey. Is that a hymn? It is now. See, it's my reasonings behind things. It's not, it's just bullshit. literally just doing bullshit. Using this new end table as well, but sizing it down because it's massive. Trying to make a little bit of an eclectic mix of furniture. You can see I kept a few objects like those original kind of like church benches that I've got here. I end up moving them. I don't have this. I end up moving one actually. They were just looking a bit too cramped together, both there in this little reading nook. This was like the kind of little area where you would come off and just sit and read and stuff. And yeah, I just think it really, really works. Really, really works. This little corner as like a nice reading nook. Using my favorite bookshelf from Get to Work. I just love them. And what I end up doing is overlapping to and lifting it up. Just there's a nice big bookcase in the corner. I kind of liked that idea, so that's why I went with it. And I was like, oh, shall I move the windows along? I was like, nope, it's going to be out in balance from the outside. I was like, oh, but it's kind of cutting into it there. Shall I do it? And I was like, nope, we're going back. So I end up not. Now, this is where I was worried about money. I've got 12,000 simoleons left. I still have a kitchen to furnish and 2 bedrooms plus 2 bathrooms. I was like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? We just spent loads of money on a massive extension. But I still managed to make it work. I would have loved to have had some more details in if I had a bit more of a budget, especially in the kitchen. I would have done a little bit more. I would have maybe had a bigger dining table that I picked as well. Would have obviously liked another furnished bathroom, but that wasn't in the budget. And I would have detailed up the kitchen a little bit more, definitely. I would have probably had a breakfast bar here as well. Maybe where I put that kind of corner piece against the platform there, right on the left there. I would have probably made a bit more of a breakfast bar come across, if you know what I mean, to kind of separate each room. I just didn't have enough funding for it. That's what I really wanted to do. But it was the budget, loves. It was the budget. It was a good budget. But if any of you want to give me like $100 grand budget and watch me do something amazing, then feel free. Just putting that out there. So yeah, I've struggled with chairs as well. Picking a chair for this place, I was like, oh, we could use these ones. They're a little bit like, and I was like, oh, what color can I pop here? Maybe the green one that I always use. And I was looking at it like, no, that's not the vibe in a church. It needs to be a higher backed chair just to give it. I was even debating on using the vampire chairs, and then I saw how much they were. They were like 400 simoleons each. And I was like, no, we can't use them. It was a little bit of a struggle. It was. And it got to the point where I was just like, do you know what? It's a table. They're going to have to deal with it. They haven't got enough on their budget. And I think that's what sometimes an architect has to do. I'm not an architect by any means, but in my mind I am. But that's the way I kind of like to think when I'm doing this series in particular. I do it anyway, whatever I'm building, but with this series in particular, I just like it. So this is me trying to get some money back. So I got around about, just over 1,000 simoleons, I think it was. And I end up using these pieces, which are still from Get to Work. They are still, Get Together. They are still the same wall, but they're free and they're in debug. And they come in a curved shape as well, which I love because you can wrap stuff around it. And I'm very much for it. Very much for it indeed. And it allowed me to do what I still wanted to do and have this wall. But it gave me a bit more money. And sometimes you've just got to put your hand in your pocket, haven't you? And save what you can, darlings. So that's exactly what I did with this. And it still worked in my eyes. I really, really liked it. Yes, I did. But no, I love church conversions in real life. Would I live in one personally? I don't know. I'm not religious in the slightest. Like, I'm just not a religious person. I don't know if I would live in a church conversion. I would. Do you know what? I think I would. Just changed my mind. I think I would live in a church conversion, to be honest. Yeah. Do you know what? I would. The end. Moving on. Anyway, this is the guest bedroom in my eyes. So again, I still wanted that kind of bohemianish modern vibe to come up. So I tried to mix a bit more of a bohemian aesthetic with some of the modern furnitures and concrete walls, like all concrete rendered with an exposed wall on one side, and just a few more soft furnishings, rugs put in different kind of like softer, non-straight orientations and things. And I like it. I really, really like how this bedroom came out, actually. Really, really like the vibe of it in here. Yeah, I think it's cute. And I think it's just got a little bit of personality, this room. Even though it is a guest bedroom. I don't know. It just got a nice feel to it. Especially with that window as well. Like that original church window in here. With all like that modern kind of like dresser. I just like mixing furniture together and trying to get it right. Sometimes it doesn't get it right. It doesn't really matter. But in my eyes, I like that bedroom. I really do. And then with the master bedroom, it was a bit of an odd shape, this one. It's quite a long, slim room. But I still like the vibe of it. And I went for a bit more of a darker aesthetic in here with the wood tones especially. and the furniture pieces. I got rid of that window because I was just like, yeah, we're not going to have any room to be able to put furniture against. And I still ended up liking it. Really wanted to use this mirror because it's a little bit more traditional. But in the end, I go for this one because it's cheaper. And I was watching the budget. We got 5,000 simoleons left. And I was crapping my pants that we weren't going to be able to furnish anything else. But we managed to. We managed to the basics. I still think, like, realistically, I would have loved an extra, maybe 10 grand, maybe 10,000. And then I would have kind of pulled a bit more detail into this place. But I was working with what I've got. And I still like it. Loved using this bed as well, this swatch. This bed's from Island Living, if I think I'm right. And I ended up putting this planter behind in it. I just love that look. Again, trying to mix in kind of... Oh, blue. We just had a little shake. Like bohemian-esque, like, decorations in with modern things. I like trying to mix the Sims 4 stuff together because we have to be honest, because we're very limited in what we have got. But I still like it. I still like the vibe of it afterwards. Really do. Really do. Very, very much for it. But yeah, it would be nice to have maybe, let me just see how much we've got left. It would be nice to have a bigger church to convert. I know there's somebody who tweeted at me and I'm gutted because I've lost this tweet. It was a ruin. It was a ruin on Windenburg Island, I think it was. If it's you, please let me know where I can find that. I think it was a Tumblr post or something that you sent to me. And I remember making a mental note, right, I need to reply to this person because I would love to renovate this. It looks great. Oops, sorry. If that's you out there, if you built a ruin, a Windenburg ruin, and you want me to, I've tried to look for it on the gallery as well. Can't find it anywhere. Might need to check the CC tag as well. I have been checking the CC tag because I know there is a few people out there that are getting kind of like flagged for CC when it's not CC in there. So I'll make sure to keep a hunt out for it. But if that is you, please let me know in the comments below. And please let me know where I can find that build because I would love to give that build a go. I really, really would. Anyway, this is the bathroom. Love this bathroom, how this bathroom came out. Really, really like the layout of this bathroom as well. I just think it's nice. And it's got a skylight above everything. I'm very, very much for it, my loves. Very much am. So this is the last little bit that we end up doing. As you can see, I've got 500 simoleons left. I'm running out of money. So all I could put out here really was some planters, a nice little picnic table. And I ended up pulling out a tree instead of putting that there. I put a nice big tree on the edge of that lot from Debug or Live Edit, and it helps frame it in nicely. And then I was like, you need to make sure to get some lights out here because they're not going to be able to see. But I don't know. I still think it came out nice. I don't know. I would have loved to have spent a bit more on this and spent a bit more money on it. But again, it's all part of the fun. It's all part of the challenge, and I'm very much here for it. Really am. Anyway, I'm going to leave you now, my loves. Thank you so much for watching this. I appreciate you. I'll be back tomorrow with Let's Build the World. We're going on to a new lot, a new family. I shall introduce you tomorrow as well. But other than that, we're going to plop a tree down now, and I am going to say goodbye.